Hey guys, let's talk about the hot topic. Which is ChatGPT and OpenAI framework. So, everyone uses ChatGPT user interface where we go and provide the prompt and get the desired results. So, it is the LLM we all know. It's based on the natural language processing. It's the learning models. These are evolving, and this is basically the current generation generative AI available for us. So we have ChatGPT, we have competitors like Copilot, and of course the other ones which recently came, and but basically ChatGPT still comes on the top based on the recent models it got developed. Like right now, I'm using ChatGPT or GPT-4o, but we also have some major advanced versions in that. So versions, as in every year, those are getting better and better. So when I say better and better, they can solve your problems with more accuracy and more velocity and more magnitude. So let's talk about it. Like when you provide a prompt, it's a user interface and it's user instruction for a specific use case. So, but what about you have millions of similar objects to be transformed? So when you say write a program in C language for linked list, so it's a one request, you provide in prompt, it gives you output and you write the program, you get the program in the output, correct? But what if you want to transform one set of objects into another set of objects? So it's a transformation, not for the one object, but for the list of objects. List can have 10 objects, 1,000 objects, 10,000 objects, million or billion objects in its files. So how to do that? It needs some kind of batch processing. It needs some kind of programming mechanism to handle this. But what if I want to do it using prompt engineering with the batching mechanism? Then we have the chat completion feature provided in OpenAI API. So OpenAI API is having a Python library where we can utilize the your OpenAI login, create an access key, and just run the prompt for the set of objects to perform the instructions provided in the prompt. So basically, one prompt to be applied on multiple objects to get it transformed to some another destination. So let's talk about it with example, and while explaining the example itself, I will tell you what are the fundamentals to deal with this particular chat completion OpenAI framework. So this is a land slider program which is very important to transform something into anything, and it is not at all related to one specific domain. If you learn this properly, this can be utilized, this can be leveraged in any set of problems that you solve in your own industry. It's very, very, very important and cutting edge right now. So just stay with me till the end of this video. So let's start with it. So basically, it needs a library, definitely. It needs a Python framework, first of all, because I'm using Python, but it can give you other programming client libraries like R program and of course Java based applications. So we have that, but right now I'm using OpenAI as a library, and on top of OpenAI library I should create one API key which I will not show you completely for the security purpose. So it's very long key basically. So it is a API key that I need to generate from my login in ChatGPT, OpenAI, and create the access token and attach my credit card or my billing details to it, so that whenever I use this feature, because this is a paid version, whenever you use the API framework, you have to pay the dollars, and billing and all we'll see in the next video. But for now, focus on one GPT model will cost you some dollars. Those dollars will be attached to your credit card for which this API key is created. Okay. This is one thing fundamentally. So let's talk about the problem statement. So now I am giving you one example where I want to transform the Teradata SQL into BigQuery SQL. So mind you guys, this is a very common migration use case right now in the data engineering field, and I believe many people are right now working on such conversions, and this will definitely help you to achieve this using the automation and reduce the head count of data engineers in your team. So stay with me. So if you see the input.csv has a simple one query like select star from employee sample 10. So this is a Teradata SQL TQDL, and I want to transform it to some output like this. This is supported by BigQuery. So there's a slight change. Sometimes the change is very big, sometimes change is very small, but that doesn't matter because the quantity of queries is more. Right now I am only putting one, but it can have 1,000 records, right? So that magnitude itself justifies the automation. So let's say I want to give this input, right? So I'm reading an input and basically I'm creating a batch here. I'm using a TQDM library just to see. I mean, let's say there are million of records, so I want to create a batch of, let's say right now batch size is 2, but let's say 100. So basically for 100 queries, it will create a batch 1. The next 100 queries, it will create a batch 2 and show me the progress accordingly. So right now, let's keep it small because I am providing only one value, but it basically goes through all the queries because this is how I read, right, from TQDL input, and TQDL input is basically pandas reading my CSV file. Simple. It only has one column, so pandas is reading all the input here. This is being added to a list, and this list is being passed to my TQDM library to show the progress, but that is not the focus area right now. So let's say a batch is traversed one row at a time. Okay, now you got a row, which you got a query, right? So for each query, I want to transform. Now coming to the actual logic of ChatGPT or actual logic of OpenAI framework. So in OpenAI framework, there are three types of roles that we need to define. Majorly two: system, user, and assistant. So basically, assistant right now we are not using because that level of what we say granularity of prompt engineering is not needed. So system is simple. It is just setting up a role that who are you. So let's say if you want a guidance from dentistry, you will say ChatGPT, you act as a experienced dentist, and then you will actually provide your prompt. So similarly, even from the programmatical way, you create a system prompt first and say you are a tool for converting Teradata SQL to BigQuery SQL. Focus on correct syntax and optimization. Follow specific rules provided by user. So I am just instructing him, you are this person and help us in giving you the clear and concise optimized results. Now, what is the exact ask? So that exact ask will come from inside the user prompt. So this is a user role, and in user role, this prompt is given. So it's a very detailed prompt in which we are saying what is the Teradata query. Query is coming from parameter, which is the current query from the thousand millions queries that I am providing right now. The current execution, current iteration query. For that query, do this needful. So please convert the above Teradata query into BigQuery SQL following the rules. Output only converted SQL, no explanation or formatting. Because in ChatGPT, right, is if you just ask for something as a programming snippet, it will give a programming snippet, but along with it, it will also give you some extra explanation before the code, after the code, right? So we don't want that. So clearly we are saying, don't do it. Just provide the code. Replace Teradata specific functions with equivalent BigQuery functions. So this is an add-on extra instruction. That is how the system prompt is also telling him. But yeah, we are again telling that. For sample n in Teradata and random rows, so order by rand. So it's a very specific again requirement. If you don't want to give, you should not include. That's fine. Handle timestamp and date functions carefully because sometimes the timestamp functions are quite tedious and those are very complex or confusing. So let him handle it properly. That's what we are saying. Handle it carefully. Also, ensure the SQL is optimized and syntactically valid because sometimes ChatGPT or OpenAI framework hallucinates. So we don't want that. We want it to give a correct query at least, right, which can run. Because if you convert 10,000 queries, it cost you some dollars, and now you are saying the queries are incorrect. So we don't want that, right? So these are the very clear instructions given to ChatGPT OpenAI framework, and this is the system user, which it will be born as a converter tool for data to SQL, and then it will actually one by one perform the operation on specific query, and the queries will be traversed like from the input. Simple. Now, this is just a generation of prompt. So we are generating a prompt, creating a list of, instructions. So this messages is containing both system prompt and user prompt. Now, the actual game changer logic, where you are actually calling ChatGPT by giving this message. Okay, so you have to use OpenAI ChatGPT a chat completion API call, which has a method create. Okay, so OpenAI dot chat completion dot create in bracket three parameters right now. Model, which model you want to use. Based on this model, the complexity of problem solving, the capacity, the efficiency of the model is different. There are different types of models, based on which pricing is also different. So the best the model is for your use case, the more it is expensive. So there are GPT 3.5, GPT 4o, 4o mini, and many more, which are in the current generation. There are many more actually. Then the messages, definitely both the prompts you are providing as a list. Maximum tokens. So in a request, one API request, how many maximum tokens allowed? So right now my queries are very small and batches of two, let's say. So I have created a batch of two. So at a time I'm providing two queries in my batch, and definitely it will not exceed the number of tokens. So mind you, number of tokens is not basically number of words separated by a space. There is a slight count difference in between them. So let's say if space separated words are coming as 100, then your tokens might come around 120 or 130 something, some little more, but around the number of words you can say. So I know that it's not 1,000 words around in every batch. So this maximum tokens will basically uh, provide you a upper cap not to proceed the maximum number of tokens in order not to cost many dollars you. So if you are spending from your credit card, it will max it out. So this will be a per bucket for every request, every API call. Now, this response, once you call this, it will do its needful job to perform this, provide the response, and that response is basically structured into uh, JSON format. So you have to extract the converted query. So somehow it is inside choices and message and content. So you have to extract your converted query from this location, then you get the query, right? And you also can also find the number of tokens used. Okay, once you get the converted query, you append it to your responses, because somehow this responses is a list outside of your loop. So let's say you have 1,000 queries, it will append the 1,000 responses. Okay, next you have to create the report, right? So finally I'm creating a report of three columns. What was my initial query? What is my big query conversion, like done by API here? And what was the timestamp, like basically what was the time when it got converted? Because if it has million of records, sometimes the job might run for 4 5 hours or a day, and then definitely I will need a conversion timestamp. And finally I'm outputting it into some a file, and I can also save progress after each batch, so that if my program is gets appended or terminated abnormally, it will actually give me some records which are processed. So let's say consider there are millions of records, and half of the way your credit card maxed out, because that was a huge amount uh, of records. So once your program abnormally stops, the save progress will actually saved all the records which were processed earlier, so that your intermediate report or partial report will be saved once your program is you know exited. So yeah, let's start running it. So let's say I will output it in new file, output 3, just to show you. So it's running right now. So see the batching mechanism here, right? So this is why I have created the TQDM library. So in order to show you the intermediate progress, this was my input query. Sorry, my bad. This was my input query. This is my final output query. So it is created in output 3, and yes, it got created, right? So it has three columns. One is your input query, one was your output query, and this is the timestamp. So yeah, this is how we can use the OpenAI API framework to perform the operations which can be given in prompt for transforming multiple data objects into another format. So if you want to convert your objects from A format to B format, and the set of instructions are same, but you don't want to do it manually because those are very huge in number, like 10,000, 20,000, 1 million, right? So you need a programmatical way to leverage the prompt engineering, leverage the OpenAI framework, and the batching mechanism in a sense. So this was it. In next video, we will see when I created this API key and ran this program, how many number of tokens were used, what is in general, the pricing for number of tokens for a specific model, and where can you see all the reports, where can you see the graphs, where can you see the billing information on the OpenAI dashboard itself, because there is a dashboard for which this key is attached and I can see all the details in that dashboard. So I guess I could deliver what I wanted to deliver. This is a very cutting edge technology right now in the market to transform your migration code, and this will definitely save you the dollars, even if it is costing some, but it is saving you more. So this was it for today, and we'll see in the next video. Thank you guys. Cheers.